Hey, what's going on, guys? White Persuasion here, and I'm coming here with a new series. It's gonna be weapon comparison. But before I get into any of that, I'm just so excited for China Rising, and I can't wait to make so many videos on it because I'm going to. So yeah. Alright, so before I tell you the weapons, I'm just gonna go through the categories. So basically, what I'm gonna be going through is the damage, the usage for it, the range, the rate of fire, the RPMs. I don't really think those are the same thing. I might have just gotten messed up with my terminology. And the reload time with or without ammo, and the advantages and disadvantages of the weapons, and aiming down sights and stuff, etc. Stuff like that. So yeah. So the weapons I'll be comparing today are the M416 and Sar21. I'm obviously biased to one of the weapons, and you'll see that later in the video. So time to get on to the other stuff. So now for the damage and things of that nature. The minimum damage on the M416 is 16 and the max damage is 25. Drop off start is 8 meters, drop off end is at 55 meters. The rounds per minute is 750 fully auto, and burst it's exactly the same. Some of these stats are not going to mean much to you because you're not too hardcore into the game, but muzzle velocity is 600 meters per second. And the muzzle velocity when it's suppressed is 320 meters per second. The bullet drop off is 15 meters per second squared, and the mag capacity is 31 bullets. Alright, so now for reloading. When you reload the clip when it's empty, it takes 2.4 seconds, and whenever you reload it with at least one bullet left, it's 1.85 seconds. And you might not think this is a big difference, but it can mean the biggest thing. It can mean the biggest difference whenever you're in a small firefight or something of that nature, because it will always help you to have your gun ready. And what I like to do is, since you lose the bullets that are in your magazine at the time, I like to personally try and get down to as many bullets as I can, where I know I can get enough shots off to get the kill. So personally, I like to get as low as I can before reloading, so that way I'm not losing much ammo. Alright, so now for the recoil of this weapon. So the recoil up is 0.32, which means it's just going to be 0.32 is up, and it's going to be 0.1 to the left and 0.3 to the right, which basically means that it's going to be going up and right, but not as, or it's going to be going up and right, but because of the amount of left in it, it will be 0.2 to the right. Overall, recoil decrease is 18 ? Because what I'm reading off of is not 100% sure. The first shot multiplier is 2.2. So basically, this means on your first shot, it's going to be the amount of recoil is going to be multiplied by 2.2. So now I'm going to talk about spread. So basically, if you don't know what spread is, it's kind of how much the bullets go everywhere whenever you're shooting, if that makes sense. But I think it will make a little bit more sense whenever I actually speak about it. So personally, this stat doesn't mean a lot to me, but it might mean something to you, so I'm going to go ahead and include it. The spread increase is 0.09. The spread decrease is 15. And then this is aiming down sights, ADSing while not moving is 0.2 seconds. And ADSing while moving is a second, which it's a big difference between moving and not moving, but honestly, it's not a big difference for me while I play. But it might make a big difference for you. There's some more details about the weapon, but I'll just give you the link to where I'm getting all my information, just so that way you yourself can go ahead and check it out. It's just the amount of spread for from hip firing, crouching, standing, and all of that stuff. So now I'm going to tell you about the available attachments for this weapon. So there's suppressors, obviously, and I love suppressors so much because it's so helpful to be stealthy, and you can always get behind your enemies and flank them and just take crowds of them out because they're not going to know who you are. So another thing that you can put on is a heavy barrel. The heavy barrel helps a lot with the recoil depending on the weapon, but I'll get more into that, more in depth into that in a little bit. So you can also have a flash hider, compensator, muzzle brake, target pointer, angled / folding grip, ergo, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, / vertical grip, potato / stubby grip, and bipod. And a lot of these mean the same thing, but I'll go a little bit more in depth with them in a little bit. So now that I've wasted 5 minutes of your life, hopefully it was helpful though, I'm now going to tell you the stats about the Sar-21. So the base damage of the Sar-21 is an 18 minimum and a maximum of 25. The drop-off start is at 8 meters, the drop-off end is at 55 meters. Fire rate is 600 rounds per minute, which is one of the slower fire rates of the assault rifles. And the fire rate, burst fire, is also 600 rounds per minute. Muzzle velocity is 650 meters per second. Muzzle velocity suppressed is 340 meters per second. The bullet drop is 15 meters per second squared, and the mag size is 31, also like the M416. Now that's all I got for the damage, so now let's go on to other stuff. So I'm going to talk about reload times. So the reload while empty is 3.4 seconds, which is a monster of a time. Like, that's really long. And then the reload with bullets still left in the mag is 2.3 seconds, which is also still really long. So now for the recoil. The recoil up is 0.18, recoil to the left is 0.2, and recoil to the right is 0.2. So if you haven't been able to figure this out yet, left and right kind of even out. All you're going to have is the recoil extremely overpowered, and I'll give you the perfect attachments to make that 10 times overpowered. And the first shot multiplier is 1.8, which basically means that it's not even the M416 was 2.2, I believe, which is nothing compared to 1.8. Just those little decimal numbers make a massive difference, but on a very small scale. Once again, not sure if anyone will really care for these stats, but the spread increase is 0.07, which is compared to the 0.09 of the M416, which is a pretty big difference. I mean, it's only on a decimal scale, but still. Spread decrease is 15, the ADS while not moving is 0.2, and the ADS while moving is 1. That might be less than the M416, or it might be exactly the same, I'm not sure. And once again, the hipfire stats for hipfire spread are also down in the description if you want to go check those out. Now for the available attachments you can get with the Sar-21. You can have a suppressor, any suppressor that is available for it. You can have a heavy barrel, flash hider, compensator, muzzle brake, target pointer, angled grip / folding grip, ego grip, sorry if I said that wrong again, / vertical grip, potato / stubby grip, and bipod. Yes, this is exactly like the M416, and it is exactly like most of the... Sorry about that random cut, my throat got really dry and I couldn't speak, but what I was going to say was assault rifles. So that does it for the Sar-21 stats, and now I'm going to do the comparison. Man, I'm making great time. 2 minutes less than the M416. Alright, time to get to the comparison. So now I'm going to do a comparison, and I'm going to be telling you the advantages and the disadvantages of the M416 versus the Sar-21. And this is base stats with no extra attachments added, so that way it's very vanilla and normal. So now for the advantages of the M416. It is a much higher fire rate at 750 rounds per minute versus the 600 rounds per minute of the Sar-21. And like I already said, the Sar-21 is one of the slower firing assault rifles in the assault rifle category. It is a bit faster tactical reload, coming in at 1.5 seconds versus the 2.3 seconds of the Sar-21. It reloads 20% faster with bullets in the chamber, which is actually a pretty big difference. So it's a bit faster, as it says. Much faster empty reload at 2.4 seconds versus the 3.4 seconds of the Sar-21, which is a whole second longer, which is 29% faster, just in case you didn't know. And a slightly less recoil to the left, which is 0.1 versus the 0.2 of the Sar-21, which is not a big thing to brag about in my honest, humble opinion. So now for the advantages of the Sar-21. It comes in with a slightly higher maximum distance at 975 meters versus the M416's 900 meters, which is an 8% further distance. The Sar-21 also has a higher muzzle velocity at 650 meters per second versus the M416's 600 meters per second. Significantly less upwards recoil with 0.18 versus the 0.32 of the M416. And like I said earlier, this is a huge difference, and especially the fact that it also has an evened out left to right recoil means that it's just going straight up, and the recoil going straight up. Sorry, my throat was parched again, so I couldn't finish that sentence off. But what I was in the middle of saying was the Sar21 has a significantly lower upwards recoil without a left and right recoil, which means that it's just going straight up, and it's also 44% less upwards kick than the M416, which means with the right attachments you can handle that so well and basically have no recoil. But it's basically due to the fact that it's got such a slow fire rate, but it's still really good to go against the other assault rifles. Sorry if you just heard that squeak, that's my chair. It's got slightly less recoil to the right by 0.1, which isn't a huge difference, and it's got a bit lower of a first shot recoil multiplier at 1.8 versus the 2.2 of the M416. I mean, the differences aren't massive, but they're definitely there. And it's also got slightly less spread increase per shot at 0.078 versus 0.098, as I said earlier, which is 20% spread increase on the Sar21 when shooting. So I'm going to tell you which stats are equal. I'm not going to tell you in the numbers for it, but I'm just going to name off what's actually equal. So the Sar21 and the M416 both have the same maximum damage, same minimum damage, same drop-off start distance, same drop-off end distance, equal magazine size, equal bullet drop, same recoil decrease, same amount of spread, ADS not moving, same amount of spread, ADS moving, same amount of spread, hip stand not moving, same amount of spread, hip crouching not moving, same amount of spread, hip prone not moving, same amount of spread, hip standing moving, same amount of spread, hip crouch moving, same amount of spread, hip prone moving. So that's basically all of the stuff that, all this hip prone moving and all that. That's basically everything I was talking about that you can go check out. So you basically know that if you look at one of them, you know it's exactly the same for the other. So basically, yeah. So now my final verdict for these two weapons. Please keep in mind that these are my own opinions, and you can have your own opinions, and also this will affect, your outcome will be affected by your playstyle. In my personal opinion, I think the Sar21 wins hands down. I mean, it has 2 more advantages over the M4, which isn't too big of a it's not too big of a difference, because the M4 had 4 advantages and the Sar21 had 6 advantages, and they both had 15 same stats. But the reason I feel that it's better for me is because I like the encounters at mid to long range, which a slow firing rate weapon is perfect for it. So for my Sar21 being the winner of this showdown, I will do a best class for this weapon, and I already have everything unlocked for it, so it should be a breeze. And thank you guys so much for watching. Leave any suggestions of weapons you may have down below. And don't forget, I will also be doing single weapons stats, so basically I can tell you what I feel about the weapon on its own without it being compared to another weapon. Now I'm also going to be doing best classes like I'm going to do with the Sar21, which is going to be my first best class I'm going to be doing. And I'll do any kind of weapon, shotgun, sniper, LMGs, PDWs, anything, you name it. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new, and like the video if you did enjoy. And I'm My Persuasion, I'm out. Peace. Cue the outro. Stillwater. Yes. If you're ready to get on, let's go ahead and go. Here's one of my kids right here. Right here. See this? One of my gang members.